Welcome to another episode of the Brittany Sherell Podcast. I am your host, Brittany Sherell. I am so honored to have you here under my voice. If you're new here, this podcast is for the high achieving women of the world, whom I call the super women of the world, okay? Because we wear so many different hats and we do it so well. But this is your safe place to take off your cape and do what fulfills you, okay? So today's topic is embrace it all. So as we move through life, things are bound to happen to us. There are things that are a necessary part of our journey, things that propel us to see life just totally from a different lens. And it stretches us and it molds us and it really shapes how we show up in the world. And a lot of times we experience things that are not so great experiences. They're not things that we tend to find pride in. They're things that we become ashamed of, things that we find embarrassing, things we try to hide from other people. But here's what I need you to understand is that when we talk about self-love, it's February. And I realized I didn't really talk about self-love. Everything on this podcast centers around self-love, but I want to call out some self-love, okay? In the month of February. And so when you talk about self-love, you cannot talk about self-love without embracing the experiences that create yourself. And so a lot of times we want to love bits and pieces of ourselves. We want to love bits and pieces of our